What's going on, everyone? This is Jack with the Trading Tribe, and today we are back at it with a crypto-related video. So hopefully this encourages you out there to trade crypto a little bit more in 2024. We've had some wild moves in Bitcoin, for example, in the last few months. So I think there's a lot of really good potential coming in this space. And I actually wanted to talk about really what I see as the best way of trading Bitcoin and other of those related kind of large cap crypto coins. And this is a newer way out there, so hopefully this video gets a lot of attention. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below if this is your first time on the channel. But we're actually going to be looking at trading Bitcoin through the micro futures. And this is really the best way, in my opinion, of getting involved in crypto. And we'll kind of talk about why here as well. So looking at my chart here, for example, right, this is the micro Bitcoin futures contract. So I'm using a broker called ThinkorSwim, but this is the ticker symbol, for example, of the Bitcoin futures contract. And the standard contract is actually going to be BTC. So if we look at that here, we can switch it to BTC here. And if you wanted to trade Bitcoin, but you wanted to be able to trade it through a futures contract, right? This is that futures contract. So futures work a little bit differently, right? They have a different value than the true Bitcoin itself. So if we come over here to the futures drop down, we will notice that essentially it is about 5 times the size of the standard Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up $5, for example, this futures contract actually goes up $25. So trading this actual Bitcoin future is a lot larger than trading a real Bitcoin, for example. And so this is essentially for those out there with a really big account that want to get exposure to Bitcoin. And just remember, right, this gives you 5 times the exposure of one Bitcoin contract. So what I typically will do is I'll actually trade the micro Bitcoin contract instead. So you can just put an M in front of it and then take off the C there. So the ticker symbol is MBT. And if we look at like the daily on micro Bitcoin, right, it's the same chart. So we'll notice, right, Bitcoin's still right around 43,000 here. So that's the nice part, right? This is a 1-for-1 with the Bitcoin contract. And the really nice part here is really what it allows for. So this essentially brings Bitcoin down like 1/10 of a Bitcoin. So instead of every dollar on Bitcoin moving being a dollar, right, with a micro contract, it's actually just 10 cents. So really, really nice way to get exposure to Bitcoin. And you can actually have this match your risk tolerance, right? So instead of having to put in 40 grand, right, of Bitcoin money right here, right, we can buy a Bitcoin micro, which only costs about $1,600, at least on the ThinkorSwim side. Every broker has a different margin requirement here. But this essentially gives you 1/10 the exposure of a standard Bitcoin for a lot less money, right? And if we wanted to buy 1/10 of a Bitcoin right now in the Bitcoin market, right, we'd have to actually cough up about $4,300, right, to own 1/10 of a coin. With the micro Bitcoin futures, right, you can actually put in $1,600. So instead of owing $4,300 in this example, you can get exposure to 10% of a coin for a lot less capital. So that's one of the really big benefits here. You're basically putting in about half the capital, but you're getting exposure to that same amount. And then the other nice part is you can buy multiple micros, right? So if you want exposure to a full Bitcoin, right, you can buy 10 micro Bitcoin future contracts, which again equates to 10% of a Bitcoin. So if you buy 10 of them, right, that'll basically line you up as you were owning one Bitcoin. I'm sure there's going to be questions out there, right? You do have to do a little bit of math here, but hopefully this shows the flexibility, right? Instead of having to go into a different broker and trade through the cryptocurrency exchange, right? We can actually now trade crypto through the futures contracts. And there's only a couple out there for now. So Ethereum and Bitcoin are the only two I trade, but this micro futures contracts concept really helps kind of gain exposure in a really safe way with a lot less capital. So you can trade these crypto markets, putting in a lot less money than you'd have to in the crypto market. If this makes sense, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any other questions here, let me know down below. Have a good day, everyone.